In you, Ahchwa, my God, I put my trust. I trust in you. Don't let me be put to shame, nor let my enemies triumph over me. No one who hopes in you will ever be put to shame, but shame will come on those who are treacherous without cause. Show me your ways, Ahchwa. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are my Ahchwa, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Remember, Ahchwa, your great mercy and your love, for they are from the old. Do not remember the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me, for you are Ahchwa. You are good. Good and upright is Ahchwa. Therefore he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his ways. All the ways of Ahchwa are loving and faithful towards those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, Ahchwa, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then are those who fear Ahchwa? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will send their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. Ahchwa confides in those who fear him and respect him. He makes his covenant known to them. My eyes are ever on Ahchwa, for only he will release my feet from the snare. Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted. Relieve the troubles of my heart and free me from my anguish. Look on my affliction and my distress and take away all my sins. See how numerous are my enemies and how fiercely they hate me. They hate us, the copper-colored people. Guard my life and rescue me. Do not let me be put to shame, for I take refuge in you, Ahchwa. Make integrity and uprightness protect me, because my hope, Ahchwa, is in you. Deliver Israel, O Ahchwa, from all our troubles. Psalms of David. That was particularly for Israel, just so we could always remember our foundation, man. We want to always remember our foundation. And so we have to give praises up to the Most High, to let him know that we are behind him. We are behind him. We are behind his Ruach. We are in his Ruach. We are in his frequency, in his vibration. And that's the only way back to him, to overstand it. And to overstand the function of Ahchwa, the function of the priest king, the function of the priest people. Shabbat up. We must understand that we are the gold. We are the gold. How y'all feeling out there? I hope y'all feeling good. This is our Exodus. We on a search. We have been on a search from day one. We on a search for our land. We on a search for our priestly culture, our priest king. We on a search for our laws. We on a search for our people, our ancestors, our dracons. We on a search for free Phoenix, man. Free the Naga. We in search to free the Naga. No hijacks allowed. We hitting you over the head with real shit. So you just entered the wall of protection. This is the wall of protection for Drop Nation. This is the wall of protection for J Stu and the family. This is the wall of protection for Vanessa P and the family. This is the wall of protection for the Shibata. So let's head on over to 432, man. We want to hit you over the head with some real shit today about Vanessa, Miss Vanessa Perkins. Such a wapa of a woman, of a child, of a seed. And you know that seed is the seed of Hawa. Vanessa P started a journey. She started a journey, and she's logging that journey. She started a journey to travel all over the four corners in the United States. I don't know her specific locations and directions, but we are her wall of protection in her travels. And we pray that she has safe travels and she's safe, she's alive. But she came into a dilemma in the midst of her traveling. I can't remember what. We'll let her explain to you and where, when, and how of the situation of the dilemma that she came into. But Hawa was there to rescue her. Hawa sent angels to rescue her. So I want you to check out Miss Vanessa P, Miss Beautiful, Wapa, Vanessa P, our Shibata, taking the liberty to see things that we've never seen. So she got the green machine. She called it the green Dracon. And it's my duty to deliver her narrative. No one other than her can hit you over the head with the realest shit about what she's doing. We want to thank Drop Nation for the 432 Drop for making sure they're keeping up with Miss Vanessa P. 432 is keeping up with a lot of everything that the tribe is doing. And so we want to thank that energy, that Ruach, man, because we want to thank Hawa for that. So we set up a GoFundMe for Miss Vanessa P, our beautiful sister, because the van was pretty much totaled in the accident, and it hurts to even talk about it because, you know, we want to have a smooth journey, a smooth process, but you know, things happen, and everything happens for a reason. Overstand the Creator. Everything happens for a reason, so we always learn from it. But we always take action, and we activate. So, Miss Vanessa P, we love you, man. I want you to tell your story. Appreciate 432 for keeping this log and keeping up to date. Understand how hard it is for you to keep up to date with yourself, let alone with the whole tribe. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Y'all overstand. This is Ahchwa, Vanessa. Vanessa Perk. Yeah, and we've been over at the drop, man. So we've been over at the drop. Y'all check it out. Y'all get over there. It's a must. It's a must-see bus over at the drop.
Hawa, Hawa, Hala Hawa. I'm going to read the 23rd Psalm. Hawa is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod, your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of Hawa forever. Hawa, Hawa, all praises to Hawa. Well, family, this is B. Perkins. I'm so grateful to be coming to you again to let you know that Hawa has done it for me again. I give all praises to the Most High. As my brother says, that I was in a mishap coming from the RTR in Quartzsite, Arizona. I was in the mountains where it snowed. I was 5 hours into my drive on the way home, and I was on road 377 north in the middle of nowhere. There I hit black ice. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, with no experience with snow, so I hit my brake. And the van started spinning, fishtailing. I tried to control it, but I lost control. I started spinning and sliding. I slid for a long time, seems like forever, off the side of the road. And then I hit a dip, and it flipped over. I was conscious through the whole thing. All praises to the Most High.
Wow.
After the flip, I looked at myself. I didn't have any broken bones or cuts, so I went into survival mode. I was very upset, but that didn't stop me. I grabbed my cell and my wallet, and I tried to kick out the windshield, but I couldn't. The windshield was shattered, so I was thinking I could, but I couldn't. And I started thinking, how am I going to get out of here? I only stand 5 feet 3 inches tall, and the van is on its side. So I flipped over a bucket to stand on to get out. I had to hold the side door open to climb out at the same time. When I got out, I dialed 911, still very upset, waving for someone to help me get down from the side of the van. The Most High sent a beautiful spirit Spanish man to help me. He said, I don't speak English, but I'm here to help. I never got his name. I pray that the Most High will bless him. He helped me to get down. He took my leg and walked me down step by step. And when I'm almost down from there, it's like I slipped and landed on this guy's shoulders. Once we got down, we went sat and he let me sit in the back of his car in the warm until the authorities came. Then he looked at me and he asked me, did I have money to give him? And I told him, yes, I just need to get to a rental place. So when the authorities got there, he helped me get on the stretcher and he said, God bless, God bless. This guy was truly sent by the Most High. And once again, I asked the Most High to bless him for helping me. So I got checked out by the EMT. I refused to go to the hospital. So I waited until the tow truck came. When the tow truck got there, who towed the van, he took it to some place and said I had to get what I want out of it because he could not come back to let me get my stuff. Then he took me to a gas station / store where another man came to help me to try to get a rental car where everything was closed. He said, this is a Mormon state. He tried to rent me a U-Haul, but I didn't want to drive a big truck in the snow. So I asked the cashier, did they have a hotel close? Since it was Sunday, I can wait till Monday to get a U-Haul, and then I probably needed to just rest from the traumatic experience that I just had. She said yes, if I didn't mind waiting until she got off, she would take me. Her name was Valerie. She was also sent by the Most High. All praises to the Most High. I asked the Most High to bless her. Valerie took me to get something to eat before she took me to the hotel because she said she knew I didn't have a way to get anything to eat, which was very sweet of her. She also gave me her cell number to let me know that if I can't find a way out to get to the rental place, that once she got off, she would take me. But I'm thinking, like, you get off at 2 o'clock, I will be driving at 2 o'clock. I do not want to stay here in this state or this little area any longer. I have to get back to Louisiana to my family. Because at the end of the day, my family still did not know that I've had an accident. I only spoke to my daughters and my son. But I told them not to tell my family because they were just going to worry about me and they couldn't do anything about me. And besides, the Most High had spared my life, where I had nothing but scratches on my hand, cuts on my right hand, which was really achy. And so the next morning, I get up. I'm very emotional still, just thinking about everything that took place. But I give a special thanks to my Drop Nation family because they were there, like really encouraging me, calling and checking on me. It was just something that I needed to push forward. I still had 20 hours to go to get back to Louisiana. And I'm like, I gotta get there. I have to get there. I can't stop. And with their encouragement, it kept me going. So I called for the U-Haul, not the U-Haul, the rental place, and I told them my situation. Enterprise only come get you when you're 5 miles away, but I was 20 miles away. So the lady there, she was really nice. She asked the guy to come pick me up about 9-ish. I get there, rent a car, and I was driving from 10 o'clock that morning to 10 o'clock that night. I just had to get there. And this GPS kept me in the mountains. One thing I know, and I've learned, that I have to learn how to read an atlas because I didn't like the fact that I was stuck in the mountains. Throughout the whole entire day, I drove through the mountains. I didn't like the feeling. I wanted to be on Interstate 10, 20 or something that was familiar. It was just mountains for straight 8 hours. I drove through the mountains for 8 hours. But I give God all the glory. I give him all the praise because once again, he saved my life. He gave me the strength to keep pushing forward. And so I get into my ride. It's not 10 hours and I'm thinking, oh, I can go. Stop checking on me. Ty checking on me. The Fords are checking on me. Cam, DJ, they checking on me. And it's just like, I know these people are keeping me going. They thinking, oh, I'm very strong, but they don't understand what they were doing was making me stronger to do what I needed to do, because at the end of the day, my immediate family not knowing what's going on with me. So I'm in Texas at this point. I stop and I get me a hotel and I stay there until 4 o'clock that morning. So at 4:15, I'm back on the road again. I get home here to New Orleans at 2:40 p.m. I give praises to the Most High. Allah, Ahchwa, Ahchwa, Ahchwa. I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for all your thoughts and your prayers that went along with me and the frequency. I just thank you guys so much. But know this, Phoenix will be back. This will not stop me. This will not stop me. I will get another van. And I've learned so much from the first time that it will be greater later. And I will continue on my journey. I give God all the glory, all the praise. Allah, Ahchwa, Ahchwa, Ahchwa. I'll have you, family. I'll have you.
I have you too. I have Sister Vanessa P. Y'all make sure y'all go to 432thedrop.com. We just started the GoFundMe. Put foot to action, man. Let's get her a new van so she can continue her travels. And we pray that the rest remain safe. So, we're going to get you back going, Miss Vanessa P. And, Ahchwa, we love you. Alright, so y'all make sure y'all go over to the site. Y'all make sure y'all go over there. Y'all make sure y'all check out the GoFundMes. J. Stu just having a baby. Y'all make sure y'all check out the beautiful. I mean, come on, man. We hitting you over the head with everything we got. Even if you hating, it's something you need over there, man. I mean, the energy, the frequency, the vibration is 9 above the firmament. So y'all get over there, man. Y'all get over there to the beautiful work that the tribe is doing. And peace up to the sisters. Solid to the sisters, man. Ty Battle, I mean, she working extra OT for the Most High. Ahchwa, all praise Ahchwa. She working extra hard with her poetry, with her research. Chef keeping you fit, ready to never quit. With her recipes, with the, oh my goodness. Oh man. Veggie style up. Y'all check it out. It's a Wapot thing. Alright. And we got all the brothers hitting you over there with the real shit, man. Y'all check it out. It's we got Sister Camilla teaching you Hebrew. Overstand. Miss D Copper Color hitting you with facts. Indigenous facts, that is. Man, y'all get in tune. Y'all get in tune. Get over there for the tune-up. Please get over there for the tune-up. It's so real. Alright, but y'all stay on YouTube. You know, we still here. We still there. On your local government website. Hitting you over the head with that indigenous real shit. Alright, until they shut the lights off on that joint. And that's real. So
the QuickBooks Self-Employed
Oh man, sorry about that. You know those commercials. You know those pop-up commercials. I want to get us a little harp going or something. But let's see what y'all want to get into today. But yeah, prayers go up and out. Thank you, Miss V, for just, you know, being able and keeping up, you know, with the narration, with your navigational narrative journey. Thank you, man, for logging. Thank you, 432, for just keeping the log. It's really special that you know we have that. So I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. So. But my family, how y'all feeling? I hope y'all staying healthy. I hope y'all tuning up. It's serious that we tune up. It's serious that we don't forget our purpose. This purpose is real. From day one, we've been on task. Never stagnant. We got land. We got our addition to the tribe. Jay Stu and the beautiful family. Just had a baby. They over there nourishing and getting that, keeping the baby healthy. Our baby Ahchwa Stu. And we got another addition to the family. So we're gonna be talking about that real soon too. Brother AD just gave me a call, man, a confirmation call. Let us know that our brother got one on the way. We don't know if it's a boy or girl, man, and I hope he's okay with just telling you that. But you know, you family too. You know, except for the couple knuckleheads, we got the trollers, but everybody on here is family, man. We've been rocking, we've been rolling. We've been hitting each other over the head with information, links. We've been trying to find. We've been trying to find our people. We've been trying to find our Nestorian people. And I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all rolling, man. Y'all rocking and rolling. Straight up. So we just gonna keep hitting you over the head with real shit. So like I said, we've been over at the drop, man, and we getting closer. I smell it. We're getting hotter, we getting closer. But I know y'all been hearing about the cities, the 7 cities of Cibola. Cibola meaning promised land, man. Y'all been over at the drop. Y'all been over at the drop checking out the Priest King stories, Prester John, the 7 cities of gold. We've been breaking down the Hebrew, trying to find the origin of these priest kings and our Israel kings. We've been unsearched for Moses and Joshua. Find out in the stories of Huimak, Kesakota. Same stories of these Israelite kings still are the same. As we read the 7 cities of Cibola, man, we find out that, you know, this is the thing, they keep saying that these cities are mythological, right? tried to steal all the gold out the cities. The gold was you, man. One of the aspects of the gold were you. Copper color, indigenous, American. America has so many resources, and so much land. We already know about the 700 million acres of land that the United Nations in the Bureau of Land Management keeps for themselves. I keep tabs of that right here. Check out Negro Indians, document Terry genocide. That's all from the United Nations website. 700 million acres of land. Over 100 millions of acres that they never even touch or step foot on. The government, that is. We see what's really going on, man. The devil don't create nothing. They hide in your tents, as it says in the Torah. So they say that these cities were fables and rumors. But as we unravel the indigenous truth, we see that these so-called Greeks were just covering up the torture, their expedition, their invasions. And the people that they invaded, they just scattered and put them into disassociated groups, so they would never be able to recognize who they were. And these are so disassociated groups, meaning disassociated to any landmass, by using the color of law and creating codes on these people. And deliberately moving in a whole nother race of people, and then causing havoc on them. But it's always in the blood. The gold is in the blood. That's just one aspect of the city of gold. So yeah, y'all dodged your own damn hijacks, like my sister T.Y. We're gonna check out the city of gold though. And we're gonna try to get a little more understanding about this city of gold. Now y'all check it out, man, because this ain't the first time we introducing this. King hitting you over the head. We got Corey Mayo, Shibata, Corey Mayo hitting you over the head with the cities of David. So let's check it out, man. Let's see what we can dig into. We looking for food. It says an 1898 painting by Frederick Remington portrays Spanish explorer. Okay, this is 1898. Alright, so we already know by that time, man, it's whatever they plan to do had already flourished. Meaning that the bringing of the other people in, invasions. And you went through, by that time, different kings. By that time you went through different kings, so this is an 1898 painting by Frederick Remington, portrays Spanish explorer Francisco Vazquez de Coronado on his ill-fated quest in 1541 to find the fabled 7 cities of Cibola. The expedition would included hundreds of soldiers and Native American guides. Alright, Native American guides, so you understand. Native American guides lasted 2 years and traversed some 4,000 miles, 6,400 kilometers of American West. In the end, no cities of gold were found, and Coronado returned empty-handed and in debt. That's one story. Maybe Coronado didn't find it, maybe he did, but the point is that this myth of these so-called cities is almost saying that if he didn't find it, that's saying the indigenous American never existed. They found these cities, and we know what they done with these cities and the people in them. So when you believe that they never found these cities, then you believe that they never found me and you. In 1538, Friar Marcus de Niza, a Franciscan priest, reported to Spanish colonial officials in Mexico City that he'd seen the legendary city of Cibola in what is now New Mexico. It was an electrifying statement. Spanish explorers who were scouring the New World for Native American treasure had heard persistent tales of the fantastic wealth of the so-called 7 cities of Cibola. It is situated on a level stretch on the brow of the roundish hill, the friar said. It appears to be very beautiful city, the best that I've seen in these parts. The priest acknowledged, however, that he had only seen the city from a distance and had not entered it because he thought the Zuni Indians inhabitants would kill him if he approached. But when a large and expensive Spanish expedition returned to the area in 1541, they found only a modest abode, pueblo, that wasn't anything resembling that the priest described. The expedition turned out to be a ruinous misadventure for those involved, including famed conquistador Francisco Coronado, who led it. Virtually everyone, including the leader, returned to Mexico City heavily in debt, says New Mexico author Richard Flint, who, with his wife Shirley Cushing Flint, had written 5 books about Coronado. A number of those people never recovered financially. Let's see what he see in here, man. What did Friar see? For 5 centuries, scholars have debated what de Niza saw when he claimed he found Cibola, or whether he simply told Spanish officials what they wanted to hear. The great wealth the Spaniards took when they conquered the Aztec of Central America and the Inca of South America only fueled beliefs that still more riches lay somewhere in the interior of what is now the United States. So when Friar de Niza said he'd seen Cibola, Spanish officials were eager to believe him. Okay, so they'll admit to they admit to the Aztec. They admit to conquering the Aztecs. They admit to conquering the Inca. because we've uncovered so much evidence. But they've admitted to conquering our priestly people, our Nestorian people, in which in return gave them authority over the United States, of the states remaining, the states in America, to this colony, forming these states. But they want to continue to hide the information, but we finding it, man. And it's beautiful because we're finding it through our Dracon sense. Because if it wasn't for the discovery of our Dracon sense and nature, Ahchwa, he wouldn't reveal so many things to us about our priestly people. So understand, everything happens for a reason. So we don't know what he saw or why he said what he did. Said Denise Schultz, a park ranger at Coronado National Memorial in Hereford, Arizona. A generous interpretation of Denise's vision is that he saw the pueblo at dawn or dusk and was fooled by the flattering sunlight at the time of day which bathed in the city in a glow that he made him think that the buildings were made of gold, she says. Flynn is less charitable about Denise's statement. He probably did not see the city, Flint says. Instead, he says the priest probably only passed along a tale he heard from Indians. Coronado's men were furious when they saw the Sunni village. On beholding it, the army broke forth with maledictions on Friar Marcos Deniza. One of Coronado's men said, "God grant that he may feel none of them." Instead of returning to Mexico City, Coronado pushed on. 4 months his expedition followed an Indian guide hundreds of miles further to present day Kansas, before giving up the search for Cibola. It is very difficult to say that another person would have done anything different, Flint says, but people lost a lot of money, so they weren't happy. By Spanish standards, they needed a scapegoat, Schultz said. He was captain, so he was one of the he was the one who wound up taking the brunt of the blame. That's my interpretation. He failed miserably. Okay, so they basically saying that they failed in another conquering of the people of Shem. But we know their history hires our Nestorian people. We know that. But the Most High said he will raise a kingdom of priests. So we know gold currency. Let's check something out real quick. Gold is one of the main statistics in civilization. It is used as a currency for maintaining an empire. Unlike most other statistics, the accumulation of gold is explicitly manifest in the empire's treasury and is always visible in the upper left corner of the UI. What is UI? Is that what is UI? Right next to the treasury, you can see your gold flow. The current difference between expenses and income in your empire, which is added or subtracted from the treasury at the beginning of each term. Unlike other stats, you may have positive or negative gold flow, and the later may severely hamper your development. Note that your gold flow may sometimes change between terms, for example, due to the beginning of a diplomatic deal or a switch in policies, so the number you see at the end of each term may not always match the actual change in your treasury. Just showing you how some societies work, or empires. The use of gold. Gold are many and diverse. Unlike other stats, they depend both on the automatic gameplay, such as paying the maintenance fees of your units, and on your decisions such as paying to purchase something. Although gold is not essential for developing your civilization or its cities, it is still absolutely necessary, especially if you have a large standing army. Alright. Gold is required to pay the upkeep or maintenance costs of almost every unit and building, alright, in this game of life, as well as specialty districts, except for the commercial hub and the harbor, which pay for their own upkeep with the gold they produce. While unit maintenance costs are usually small, the usual scale with the game era and can become quite large at the game. A swordsman of the classical. Let's see. Alright. In city spending, gold may be used as a currency for making purchases in a city as follows, okay? Gold may be used to purchase most units and buildings within the city. They will appear instantly, and the buildings will take effect immediately. I mean, okay, so what this is it's like a serious game of, it's a simulation of building cities, right? But since you can't find information, you can only find it through this type of information. You can find that so easily what it takes or what it took to build cities and diplomatic deals and city spending and the uses of gold. So though this is some particular game, but it's also
limited edition double-sided poster when you purchase the Call of Duty.
It's also identical to building actually cities and what cities actually the foundation of their finance. Gold may be used to expand the territory in a city, alright, and thus your empire controls, alright. Gold is often used as part of deals with leaders of other civilizations. You may trade both bulk amounts of gold, which are deducted only at the time of a deal, or gold per turn GPT with other civilizations, which will effectively alter your gold flow for the time of the deal. So as a part of this bonus, gold yield is provided by numerous luxury resources, as well as some bonus resources: cocoa, cotton, diamonds, furs, gypsum, ivory, salt, silver, truffles, whales, wine, copper, crabs. So yeah, man, this is crazy, but this is, you know, just information on building cities, man. And it's actual identical to how cities were built. Okay, this is science versus gold. This is just some, you know, some opinions, really. What separates a gold city from a science city is just the specialists that are run. Do I put a market and bank in the science city? And do I put library, university lab in a gold city? In a specialist heavy economy, do I have more than one gold city? And where they just talking about the ideas of gold versus science. IMO, you shouldn't focus on specializing your cities making difference between gold and science cities. Gold and science cities are both commercial cities, so they're basically the same thing. Remember, commerce isn't the same thing as gold. Commerce is something you can transform into gold or science depending on your slider. If you're going to run your science slider high, your gold buildings aren't going to be effective. Okay. Somebody said the only thing I call a gold city is if you happen to have a city with a good religion, shrine, or with a good corporation. HQ merchant specialists also give straight up gold, not commerce. So a city running a lot of merchants could be a good gold city too. This buildings produce straight gold, not commerce. So they'll benefit from gold improvements, even if you happen to run 100% science. Okay. Normally a city like this would be the one where you put your Wall Street. If you don't have one of these, I'll probably put a Wall Street in a city which produces the most commerce. That isn't going to build a better national wonder. Yeah, it's just some opinions. I don't know if I want to get into this, the benefits of incorporating yourself. But I'll read it, man, because we just, we brainstorm, and I'll read it. I was touching on this a little bit. But incorporating yourself have a lot of benefits. And one way, it limits your personal liability. And I think that's one of the reasons, like, say when it go to civil, like even something small as civil, like say when you're traveling in your vehicle that you personally own, right? these driver licenses and things like that. And I think that them being in all caps name of a corporation, but you being a sole proprietor of a corporation is not good. You know, they teach you in small classes that, yeah, that's sole proprietor. Nah, that's not a good thing, because it ties you to all the debt, to where even you can become imprisoned, right? Even for something like driving. But when you separate yourself, right, from this corporation, that's what you have to do. Okay? They set us up, man. They set us up. You are a corporation and you don't even know it. And somebody is reaping the benefits of your corporation without you even knowing it. So when you incorporate yourself, you can get back a lot of those benefits. Now, I'm in the process of doing it, man. I suppose I've been done it just for private reasons. And once we all, understand it, we'll see that it all goes together with just becoming dependent. It's not playing a game but it's stopping them from playing the game on you. So while you have a name, you can incorporate your name, man. These people have run charters and to gaining states, starting charters to gain states, man. All you want to do is start to incorporate your name. Okay? And you just basically are dividing your blood from this entity, so that every time this entity owes somebody, they don't have the right to put your blood, your flesh, into jail. Okay? Because now once you separate and you incorporate yourself, then you're properly in propria persona, as we say. And I'm not getting into the law, or I'm not getting into, but someone's always going to ask you your name. And you want to own that name, don't you? This is one way you can do that. You already are a corporation to their eyes anyway. So, get your corporation back. Own your own corporation. Own your own self. By just making them aware that you know that you can own your own self. So get the rights back to yourself by incorporating yourself. That's the best way I can say it. Even when it breaks down with FICA and Medicaid, you know how you actually have to pay into that, but you never really get the full benefit of that, man. So stop playing. So even when it comes to child support, stuff like that, see, it break down a lot of things, because once you separate it, now in your name, in lower caps, you don't have to own anything. But in your corporation name, you can own everything. And that entity is a limited liability. It's not a limited liability corporation, but there's limited liability for you, for your flesh and blood, because you separated your name, which is a corporation, from your flesh and blood. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So let's check this out. What are some of the benefits of incorporating myself? And man, just watch the game, okay? Because they're going to try to fool you to act like, that there's a difference between, oh, you just doing some work for yourself and that entity becoming a business. But no, this is like this, or you starting a business. Yeah, you already have a business, okay? That business is you. That business is your corporate name, okay? And that's what you get from the city, from the state. That mail you get from the state is in all caps every time, okay? So let's just keep it real. So let's read a little bit of this, man. And don't trip, I'll drop the link. It says, what are some benefits of incorporating myself? I also will the corporation be registered under my own social security number or federal tax identification number? Will money earned through the corporation be considered money earned through my social security number? Okay, that's the whole point that we're talking about right now. There are many benefits to incorporating yourself. Owners who incorporate are seeking limited liability and are properly formed and operated corporation is considered a separate legal person. And a properly formed and operated corporation is considered a separate legal person. It is from this concept that the corporations derive many of their benefits. One of the most sought after benefits of a corporation is that the assets of the owners are protected from the business liabilities. As a separate legal entity, a corporation incurs business debt or liabilities on its own behalf. Liabilities on its own behalf. Okay, this can especially, which shields the business owner from the responsible for the debt, for the debt. It'll shield you. This can be especially important if the business venture is risky or for a wealthy owner. This protection is eliminated if a lender requires the corporate shareholders to guarantee the corporate debt. Okay, incorporation also offers tax benefits, okay, to the business owners. Okay, so yeah, y'all can sit up here and say, yeah, this systematic, but all of you is paying taxes. All of you is paying taxes, because if you didn't pay taxes, you wouldn't have bank accounts. If you didn't pay taxes, you really can't have shit. So all of you is paying taxes because the banking system is all tied into that shit together, man. So if you can't, in order to have a banking account, all of you gotta have a license or a state identification. If you got a passport, come on, man. So all of yous have to have some type of identification, whether it's a passport or whether it's even if it's one of those things you call a Moorish identification. You're still using the United States codes to bound your contract. So you might as well incorporate yourselves. It's a benefit anyway. There's so much benefit in incorporating yourselves. So why not? Now you actually can speak for yourself, man. Because you'll be the owner. But be careful when you're doing an LLC or an INC. Do an INC. See, I got to change my LLCs over to INCs because I use my social security number for those. But when you do an INC, you don't use your social security number. You use a tax ID number. And that's the totally difference. So when you go up to somewhere and they ask you for your, like you go get an account, a bank account, or you go get anything, and they ask you where they ask you for your social security number, no, you never give your social security number. You never give your social security number to a bank, to anything, to the government, to anything. You give your tax ID number. Trust me. But you can only give a tax ID number if you're incorporated. And I'm not finna break down all that. I'm not finna break down the differential like you said, because, you know, I'm not all up in it like that, but I know wrongs and rights almost. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, we've been in business and starting small companies, you know, for the longest, man, since I've been young, trying to solidify having something for my family. So I mean, it's like, and you know, even Joshua did this, you know, so don't, you know, Joshua solidified the deeds of your land. Okay, our Joshua, our Jasher. Alright, we're going to get into the book of Jasher too. We're going to get into chapter 91. Alright, and check out all the brothers been hitting you over the head with the book of Jasher too. Jasher is Joshua. And so we want to talk about where Joshua, you know, handed out that land according to the tribes. So, this solid right here when it comes to incorporating yourself, okay? So if you do that, it protects you from business liabilities. And that's all your name is, getting debt on it. That's all it's doing. You're building debt that you can be responsible for, go to jail for, when you can separate that. That is your name. You own that name. Okay, so we must own our name. So I'll keep y'all posted on that. Because like I said, I'm working on that, so I keep y'all posted. Okay, but you want to separate a legal entity. Okay, a corporation incurs business debt or liabilities on its own behalf. So it wouldn't be liable to you, blood, to you, which shields the business owner from responsible for the debt. Did you know that? Did you know that? Alright. So, incorporation also offers tax benefits to the business owner, because all of you pay taxes, which include health and life insurance, travel and entertainment, because I know your kids go to school. If your kids go to school, all of you pay taxes, because your kids wouldn't even be able to go to school. So, incorporation also offers tax benefits to the business owner, which include health and life insurance, travel and entertainment deductions, retirement plans, educational benefits, and dependent care health assistance. In some situations, items that may be only partially deductible by a proprietor become fully deductible in a corporation. Did you know that? Items that may be only partially deductible by a proprietor becomes fully deductible in a corporation. So maybe that's what would have us enslaved. Because we don't have the key to unlock your name. It says that items that may be only partially deductible by a proprietor, right, become fully deductible in a corporation. When planning In this area, it is important to consider various tax requirements such as discrimination rules that require benefit plans to cover all employees. Also, with a corporation, business owners own stock shares of the business. Rather than owning the business property directly, in certain situations, this can make the transfer of ownership, partial ownership, or partial ownership of the business easier, and can especially beneficial in certain family estate planning situations. To many people, the corporate identity inherently makes a one person to many people, the corporate identity inherently makes a one-person shop sound more credible. To these people, the word corporation or Inc. in a business name conveys stability and business sophistication. As a separate entity, the corporation will be required to obtain its own tax identity number and to file its own tax returns. Additionally, it is not proper to mix personal and corporate assets or funds together, called commonly can cause shareholder to lose their limited liability. So it tells you right there, you filing taxes under your personal because you think you work a job, but you still are a business. So you filing taxes not being able to get the benefits, so that means you're a slave. Because they're taking from you in your taxes. But if you incorporate yourself, if you have a corporation, you receive all your deductions. So if you go get a loaf of bread from the store, don't you know you're supposed to file that? All right, man, I'm done, because you already know what they did to Cheryl P. Jackson. She worked for the IRS. Y'all check that out. Cheryl Jackson, that worked for the IRS. They locked her up, man. But she got out, but they locked her up for a long time because she was just giving you game about these wicked IRS people, man. But let's move on. City of Caesars. We know Caesars can mean a lot of things. Alright, so dodge your own hijacks. City of Caesars, Spanish, Ciudad de los Cesares, also various known as City of Pantagania, the wandering city. Trapalanda or Trapananda, Lin or Alien, a mystical city of South America. Mystical city of South America. They're always talking about something with mystical. But we know mystical mean that shit was real. It was supposedly located somewhere in Pantagania. It is a valley of the Andes between Chile and Argentina, despite being searched for during the colonization of South America. No evidence proved that it ever existed, right? Although reports of it circulated for 200 years, in 1766, a Jesuit father, Jose Garcia, explored the area now part of the Qualat National Park. The Qualat National Park in Asean region, Chile, searching unsuccessfully for the city of Caesars. That's funny, because if they're telling you that they already named a national park, that's telling you they already conquered that land, man, and conquered that people. Come on, man. Qualat National Park. Just like we got a Grand Canyon National Park. Come on, man. The city is described as prosperous and rich, full of gold, silver, and diamonds. At least one description says it was located in between two mountains, somewhere in the Andes Mountains. One of gold and another of diamonds. Sometimes it is described as an enchanting city that appears in certain moments, or such that those who come upon it by chance in their travels forget the encounter, or such that hunters of it will walk away with mountains of fortune and treasure. Its purported founders include survivors of Spanish shipwreck and the Strait of Magellan, survivors in the exile of the disaster of the Coronado, ghost Panaginean giants, and survivors of the Inca Empire. Indeed, one explanation of the legends is that it derived from stories told to sailors by Aborigines describing the empire of Peru. See El Dorado, City of Gold, Quivira, and Cibola, Sierra de la Plata, the Promised Land. They say Coronado spent another 10 years searching in Kansas. 7 cities. Spain searched for 7 cities of gold for a long time. Spaniards called the 7 cities of gold Cibola, the Promised Land, the Yucatan. This is the Yucatan, the 4 corners, the Yucatan. And we know about the invasions of the Yucatan. Y'all check out that Yucatan before and after the conquest by Friar. Remember that we talked about Friar? This was Friar de Landa. Alright? They make these guys Franciscan priests, man. But not him, but they brought him over, Franciscan priests, to the Yucatan, man. Italian priests from Italy. And on the cover of the book, those copper colored faces, man. The Mayan and the Yucatan look like a Mayan, you know, but come on, man. We know the land relation, man, to the Yucatan. These are the Mexicos. The Itza. So yeah, we get back into that, man, and hit you over the head with that also. And let's not forget, beginning with the 1492 arrival of Christopher Columbus in the Caribbean, and continuing control of vast territory over 3 centuries, the Spanish Empire would expand across the Caribbean islands, half of South America, most of Central America, and much of North America. Okay, so they admitted here, including the present-day Mexico, Florida. Okay, so they admitted here. But just over here in the 7 cities, they said it didn't exist because they're trying to make you think that, oh, these were gold cities. No, these were people who had wealth, who had great wealth. But these people wanted to use us for the new wealth. And what did they do? Tore down our holies of holies, and they took all our treasures. Alright, let's not get it twisted, right? What else they do? They burned up a lot of shit. They burned up a lot of shit. They burned up a lot of shit. So let's check out this chart of the 13 original colonies. Okay, learn about the New England, the Middle, and the Southern colonies. Colonies, colonizing, colonizers. The British Empire settled its first permanent colony in the Americas at Jamestown, Virginia in 1607. This was the first of the 13 colonies in North America. The 13 colonies can be divided into 3 regions: New England, Middle, and Southern colonies. The chart below provides additional information, including the years of the settlement and founders of each. Alright, we already know we dies in our own damn hijacks, okay? The British Empire, come on, man. We already know the British Empire. We already know from the 1320 Declaration of the Arboro. Okay. For as long as but 100 of us remain alive, never will we, on any conditions, be brought under English rule. It is not for glory, nor riches, nor honors that we are fighting, but for freedom, for that alone, which no honest man gives up, but with life itself. Okay? In order to remain free from the English control, from the English control, right? 25 Scottish nobles and kings, alright, passing from the greater Scythia, Mediterranean Sea, and Pillars of Hercules, and sojourning in Spain among the most savage tribes, through a long course of time could no longer be subjected by another people, however barbarous those people may be, coming thence 12,000 years after 1,200 years, coming 1,200 years after outgoing Israel. They by many victories and infinite toil acquire for themselves possessions of the West, which they hold now in the kingdom of 113 kingdoms of their own royal stock. No stranger intervene or have reign. And so let's remember, principal whites are English. Benjamin Franklin said that in 1751. Black King George was on the throne at the time. In 1701. So the British Empire settled, but it had to be the English. This is in 1607. So they settled in Jamestown in 1607. So let's check out the charts. So this wouldn't be the original British, man. Okay? Because we know the British Isles were copper descendants. Peace up to Red Templar, my brother Irv. A hop to you, brother, for all, all the things that you brought forth. And all that information over at the 432, man. Y'all get over there and tune up. Okay, facts about New England colonies. The New England. Okay, now we talk. Okay, now New England colonies include Connecticut, Massachusetts Bay, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Rhode Island. Plymouth colony was founded in 1620 when the Mayflower arrived in Plymouth, but was incorporated into Massachusetts Bay in 1691. The group that left England for America in the Mayflower were called the Puritans. They believed in a strict interpretation of the writings of John Calvin, who dismissed the beliefs of both the Catholics and the Anglicans. The Mayflower first made its way to Mashpee on Cape Cod, but after a disastrous interaction with the native people in the region, they crossed Cape Cod Bay to Plymouth. So these were the New England colonies, included Connecticut, Massachusetts Bay, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Facts about the Middle colonies. The Middle colonies were located in the area now described as the Mid-Atlantic and including Delaware, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania, while the New England colonies were made up of largely of British Puritans. The Middle colonies were very mixed. Settlers in these colonies included English, Swedes, Dutch, Germans, Scots, Irish, and French, along with Native Americans, and some enslaved and freed Africans. Now, see, what they're trying to do is confuse you and make you think that when they talk about Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, man, and while the New England colonies were made up of largely British Puritans, British middle colonies were very mixed. Settlers in these colonies included English, Swedes, Dutch, Germans, Scottish, and French, along with Native Americans, and some enslaved and freed Africans. Okay, but see, they want to paint you a picture, and they want to paint you a picture as if you would think that all these people are white until you get to these Africans. Okay, but if you can remember, even when it goes to the scriptures, that Ham, the seed of Ham, would be a slave to Israel. So when we talk about British, and we talk about Swedes, Dutches, Germans, Scots, Irish, French, Native Americans, see, we are talking about Nagas. We're talking about Nagas. Because we form these Delawares, these New Jerseys, these New Yorks, Pennsylvanians, and these New Englands. So man, you know, they want to pitch, you know, and talk about, because they got your timelines all mixed up, but this 1600, You can't even remember it, nor seen it. But you were robbed for your titles. You were robbed for your titles. You were robbed for these titles. We're gonna get to those swords, man. All right, we're getting the colony names. Colony names. Virginia, Massachusetts. Okay. Founded by the London Company. This is founded by the London Company. This is founded by the Puritans, Massachusetts. Plymouth Colony, Massachusetts Bay. Lord Baltimore, Thomas Rogers. Virginia's Lord Berkeley, okay, New Jersey, South Carolina, let's see, New York, Duke of York. Duke of York in 1664. And as again, these are founded by, as they so-called say, these states were Georgia, James Edward Oglethorpe in 1752 or 1732. Became royal colony. This is the year it was found, and then it became royal. Became a royal colony, okay? In 1601, Sir Walter Raleigh is imprisoned in the Tower of London for a plot against King James I. Captain Bartholomew Gosnold is the first Englishman to land on the New England coast. In 1602, Roger Williams, the future founder of Rhode Island, is born. Virginia Company of London is granted a royal charter to settle. Rebecca, daughter of mighty Prince Powhatan Empire of Announcement, also Virginia, converted all baptized in the Christian faith and wife to the war. I can't read that. Pontiff Chris Powhatany, Virginia. 1601. King James, come on, man. William Bradford became the governor of Plymouth Colony. New Hampshire. Hampshire. It was founded by Davis Thomas. Okay, yeah, man. I know we were robbed for this land, you know for sure, and where they created these colonies, but I don't know, man. It seems that in the 1700s, well, we already know when the Greeks took over our Byzantine empires to bring in their so-called Constantine empires. And they brought in generals of white skin that also married into their families, that and then would take over their inheritance, that they would in return stole from our people. And so Benjamin Franklin says in 1751 that the only of the whites that was in any nation was in the English. Right? So up until 1776, man, when we were forming, I truly know that these colonies were formed by copper-colored people. In 1625, King James I dies and is succeeded by King Charles. This is in 1625, man. So that goes to tell us, right? Where is it? Where is the oh, let me break this down. Because it all led to this particular Christianity. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Yeah, copper colors form these colonies, man. Was I reading some in Pennsylvania? Penn got a charter for a colony in America in exchange for canceling the debt. The king came up with the name Pennsylvania, meaning Forest of Penn. To honor the admiral, Penn would be a minister, and at the start of every year, he was to pay the king 2 beaver pelts and a fifth of any gold and silver mine within the colony. Okay, so they would come there and they would mine. and in return pay the king 10%. But this ain't in no 1644, man. Alright, Pennsylvania guarantees fair government, right? In keeping with the golden rule. Alright. So who they say Penn, William Penn, this Sean Penn's great granddaddy who supposedly owned Pennsylvania, right? Assured the right of private property, freedom from restrictions on business, and free press and trial by jury. Such liberty was unheard of in the American colonies controlled by Puritans. In those areas, any political dissent was a crime. Even though he came from an upper class family, William Penn had seen the exploration of the poor in England and would have no part of it. Despite Penn's generous and considerate treatment of Pennsylvania's citizens, the legislature still complained about his power as governor, amending the Constitution several times to spell out his restrictions. So the golden rule. So in keeping the golden rule, what is the golden rule? Golden rule is what? Christianity. Whether you are a devout Christian or just trying to explore your faith, okay, so it was Christianity. That was the golden rule. The golden rule. Okay, the golden rule. Now, if the golden rule is Christianity, so when we revert back to the 7 cities of gold, now let's check into another aspect. 7 cities of gold, if Christianity to them, right, this modern Christianity, but we're talking about when they speak in even the text in the past of our ancient sacred worship, they reverted to being Christianity, right? Because the devil, remember, he don't create anything. Okay, and remember the Sakari, they started to worship this Christ. So, I mean, not this Christ, but they worship David, our priest king. And so what they would do is emulate that, right? They would emulate that. They will hide your priest king and then give you another priest king, right? Who's a different descendant from you, who's actually a descendant of Ham. You get it? So there would be a sacrifice. Okay? You are the seed that's being sacrificed. So therefore, when they say the golden rule, now, when we revert back to gold and golden rule, could that what that mean? The gold is Ahchwa, being in that sacred worship. Because the devil don't create anything. So when he revert back to the golden rule, he's talking about Christianity and the hijack of Christianity. But we must create it being golden from that sacred worship, being golden. And gold is promised in that sacred worship. So the 7 cities of gold would be the cities of that sacred worship, that Hebraic worship. Alright, man, let's just get into something else. Okay, yeah, that poem earlier, man, I want to thank our brother Uno for that, man. Psalms 25. I forgot to hit you over the head with where I got that from. Our brother Uno dropped that Psalms 25 on us today, so I had to hit you over the head with that. So thank you, brother Uno, for hitting us with that Psalms 25. And brother Drop hit us with the Sister V, so I had to connect that. Bang bang. Okay. And our brother Curry Mayo Curry Mayho had hit us over the head with some evidence that suggests about Jason and the Golden Fleece was based on true evidence. The Golden Fleece. The Golden Fleece. Okay, the ancient Greek myth of Jason and the Golden Fleece was likely rooted in reality. Okay, this is Curry Mayo, man. Hit us over the head with this about the cities of David and the cities of gold. Linked to a historical voyage to the ancient kingdom of Coaches to learn their extraction methods of the famed Golden Sands. Geologists in the Georgia suggests geologists in Georgia have found evidence that links, this is Georgia, okay, in America, have found evidence that links one of the most famous Greek myths to actual events that took place in an ancient city steeped in gold. Jason's mythological Greek hero dreamed up of some time around 300 BC will forever be tied in mythology to the fantastical gold fleece. Legend has it in the era prior to the Trojan War, Jason banded together with a small group of similar heroic figures known collectively as Argonauts to the battle. A series of trials including launch-stealing harpies and lion cloth-wearing giants to find the pelt of the famed golden-haired winged ram of Zeus, the god of sky of thunder. The winged ram of Zeus, or what they would call Zeus, huh? Dodge on, damn hijack. Jason believed that possession of the fleece, said to be held by the ancient kingdom of the Coaches, is a Vanessa region of modern Georgia. So the Coaches in Georgia would help to reinstate it as reinstate his usurped father, Essian, a king of Thessaly in Greece. It's one of the best known tales in Greek mythology, but archaeologists and geologists alike have struggled to make sense of what the Golden Fleece could symbolize or have been inspired by, while some scholars insist that Greek myths are simple works of fantasy told with some kind of moral or lesson in mind. Alright, the fact that Greek words mytho means word or true narrative. So mythos in Greek means true narrative, and the closely related words myo means to teach. It means to teach. So remember when I said that when they say myth is 9-10 times actually something true, a true narrative, and that you are learning something is to teach, has led others to suggest that they are rooted in some kind of reality. Reality. Now, a team led by geologist Eftandil Orostovitzy from Lila State University in Georgia has found evidence to suggest that the myth of Jason and the Golden Fleece was indeed based on historical events related to the ancient gold extraction techniques. The ancient gold extraction techniques. Between 2002 and 2010, a team carried out field work in Vanessa region on the east coast of the Black Sea, where they compared the available geological data, artifacts, myth, and historical sources surrounding the kingdom of Coaches, publishing the current edition. All right, and y'all check that Curry Mayo out as he gets into that Coaches kingdom. Okay, in the Americas. Publishing the current edition of the Quaternary International, they now suggest that the myth took inspiration from an actual voyage sometime between 3,300 and 3,500 years ago from an actual voyage. Okay, Jason and the Argonauts' destination was the Kingdom of Colchis, a large coastal city famous at the time for harboring a great wealth of gold. According to the Greek mythological and historical sources, the ancient Georgian kingdom of Colchis was rich in gold sands, and the natives mined this metal from the rivers. They mined it from the rivers using special wooden vessels and sheepskins. The researchers write, a result of their geological investigation, they confirmed that still today in Vanessa region, the rivers that snake down the sides of the mountain contains tiny particles of gold that have worn off edges of rocks. Okay, I mean, gold is everywhere, family. Gold is all in the grounds of the America. Gold is in the rocks and the trees of the Americas. Everything is one molecule away from being gold. I mean, Hawaii is beautiful. Okay, the researchers also found that the region contains numerous gold fields and river places, and accumulation of variable minerals, which one they estimate contains around 65 to 70 tons of gold. They suggest that this particular resource was one of the main suppliers of alluvial or river gold in Vanessa. Which locals have been using sheepskin to attract for thousands of years. This ancient tradition was likely passed down from the time of the mythological of Jason was being formed, the researchers suggest. So it turns out that the theory possessed way back in the 2nd century AD by Roman historian Appian Alexandrine, that the myth was based on a real journey to Colchis to obtain the famed sheepskin gold mining technique was likely have been accurate. We think from our investigations that the bedrock and placer gold contents of this region give grounds to believe that there was enough gold in this region to describe Vanessa as the country rich of this noble metal, they concluded. The end result of this technique of gold recovery river gravels was a gold imprinting sheepskin, giving rise to the romantic and identified phenomenon of golden fleece in the civilized world. So yeah, I wonder what year did the people find out that it was gold in the land?
This is a podcast from the Fitzwilliam Museum, Cambridge.
Let's check it out.
I'm Timothy Potts, the director of the Fitzwilliam Museum, and welcome to From the Land of the Golden Fleece, Tomb Treasures from Ancient Georgia. We're very pleased to have this spectacular exhibition at the Fitzwilliam Museum. It is the first to be shown in this country on the culture of ancient Georgia, and it focuses on the material from the most spectacular archaeological site in the country, the site of Vani. Ancient Georgia at the time of the Greeks and Romans, which is the subject of this exhibition, shows us a very interesting combination of outside influences from the classical world, but also a very important and rich indigenous culture, which has its roots in Caucasus going back through the millennia before the period of the 5th through 1st centuries BC. To the Greeks, ancient Georgia was known as Colchis, most famous today as the place to which Jason led the Argonauts in search of the Golden Fleece. This is the story that most school children know, and probably perhaps the only thing they know about ancient Georgia, and it reflects what was though an historical reality, and that was the extreme importance of gold and gold working to the economy and to the culture of ancient Georgia. Indeed, the Golden Fleece may itself have been a way of capturing small particles of gold in the rivers in which gold could be found in ancient Georgia, so it may not be an entirely mythical object. Chronologically, the period that this exhibition covers is from the 5th and 6th centuries BC through to the 1st century BC, when the site of Vani was destroyed. During this period, it lies on the periphery of the major empires of the day, the great Achaemenid Persian Empire to the south, and the land of the Greeks, Greece itself and the Aegean Islands, somewhat to the west. To the north lay the vast steppe lands in which the Scythians and other nomadic peoples inhabited, and all of these cultures have left something of a mark on the Georgians, who absorbed influences in their art and culture from the worlds around them. The site of Vani was excavated initially from the late 19th century, but the major period of scientific excavation has been from the 1940s onwards. And these excavations have uncovered a range of sanctuaries. Clearly Vani was a major cultic center. Some installations which particularly seem to be concerned with the production of wine and the worship of Dionysus, the Greek god of wine. And as well as these cult centers, most famously, it's been the site where have been discovered a series of elite burials with presumably the elite members of Vani society laid to rest with extraordinary amounts of gold jewelry and other tomb offerings, vessels of silver, bronze, gold, and so on, dating from the 5th century, the 4th century, and the 3rd century BC. We know from the ancient Greek and Roman authors that Colchis was a rich center of gold production and metalworking.
Yeah, cities of gold extracting gold from the Americas, man. So y'all dig in on the fleets. Down here they're talking about the Voynich manuscript. Okay, the Voynich manuscript was supposedly written by our priest king, our last historian, priest king, King David. Okay, so it's written in a language that we can't even so they're saying the code is cracked. It's supposed to be written on every plant that exists by our Creator and the elements of that plant. The key elements. So yeah, I'll hit you over here with that link, but you already know where it's at. So there's a link right there, sciencealert.com. We also will be getting into some paleo, picto. Alright. Y'all remember these first 5 key elements? El, Bet, Gam, Dal, Hawa. Alright, and that's strong. Leader, family. We will gather, and we will have an entrance to Hawa, and we will have a breath, and it will be secure. We will have a breath, and it will be secure, family. If we have time, I want to get into that Book of Jasher. I wanted to get into this 91, man, chapter 91. Let's get down to it. Okay, too far. Okay, and as we get towards chapter 91, we can see that okay, 88. Okay, hold up. Let's just go up a little bit. Let's go up. We need to dig into this, man, because a lot of y'all got concepts on Moses. On this Moses, remember Moses' title, okay? On this Moshe, and this Joshua being, I don't know. But the point is that, you know, getting caught up in the hijacks. But we can see in the book of Joshua that our Moses was straight laced. He never sided with these Greeks, or never sided with Ham. Okay, so Moses appoints Joshua as his. Look, some of the Canaanites rise up to fight Israel, who was frightened and run away, but the sons of Levi compelled them to return, and they prevail over their enemies. Okay, all over 20 years of age at the time of leaving Egypt. die at the expiration of 40 years. Israel is numbered. Moses appoints Joshua his successor. The Lord encourages Joshua. Moses teaches the children of Israel to walk in the way of Ahchwa. He goes up to the Mount Abraham and dies there. 88. The Lord commands Joshua to prepare the people to pass over Jordan to possess the land. Okay, Jericho is besieged, taken and destroyed. Achan brings evil upon the camp, prolonging the cursed thing, and brings destruction upon himself. All is taken and destroyed. The Gibeonites cunningly save themselves. 5 kings rise up against Israel, and they are destroyed. The sun and the moon still stands at Joshua's command. Okay, 89. Joshua's song of praise, the war of Israel. We'll get into that for sure. We'll get into Joshua's song of praise. 90. The Edomites are smitten by Shittim. The land is divided, and the people have rest. Joshua, being advanced in years, exhorts to the people to observe all the laws of Moses. Then he died. In chapter 91, which we don't read in, or do we read it in Joshua? I don't know. But the elders judge Israel. They drive out all the Canaanites and inherit the promised land. They drive out all the Canaanites and inherit the promised land. Alright. So yeah, we'll start that next drop off. We'll start that next drop off with this Joshua, man. 91 in the book of Joshua, the book of Joshua. Alright, we're gonna start that the next one. Next time you see me, we'll be starting it off with Joshua, brother. To remember our foundation and to remember what all this is about. And remember our connection and remember our tune-up. Alright. Frequency, vibration. Vibration is law, man. You know that. We nine above the firmament. I love y'all, man, and we gonna ride this, and we gonna ride this to the end, man. So thank the brothers and sisters for everything that you are doing. Shabbat up. Alright, and Shabbat Shalom. Y'all make sure y'all keep the Sabbath. I'm going over to the 432, man. Y'all catch me over there. Catch out that my hitting them over the head session, our sessions. Y'all check out the other sessions. All the brothers got beautiful sessions, man. We bringing it. Alright. We are that wall of protection. Y'all go into y'all pockets. Don't forget about Vanessa Perkins. Alright. This is our journey. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. Alright, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in a minute.